Hey, it's the publisher here, Mr. Kelly Cole. Listen, if you are a former professional athlete, if you are a former college athlete or sports coach, and you're looking to launch your speaking career, let me tell you, you need a book. If you're already out there speaking and you want to track more high paid speaking engagements, you need a book. It's not about creating more content to post on social media. It's not about recording a bunch of videos. It's not about doing more podcasts. The number one secret to attracting more high paid speaking engagements or even launching your speaking career is a book. Hey, I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole, and I help former athletes and sports coaches create best-selling books in 30 days to launch their speaking career, even if they hate writing and don't know where to start. So for the first time ever, I've created a free case study video that will not only show you how to write a book from scratch in as little as 30 days and become a best-selling author, it will also show you how to attract more high-paid speaking engagements. Now, to check out this free case study video, click the link that says learn more or go to booksforathletes.com. Real quick before you go, do not go if you're not a former athlete or sports coach, because you won't find any value in what I'm about to share. And don't go if your book is already out and already on Amazon. You won't find any value in what I share over there. But if you are a former athlete or sports coach, know that you need a book, or already out there speaking and you want to launch your speaking career, go check out that link now. Writing a book is not as hard as you think. It doesn't even matter if you don't know where to start. My case study video will show you how to start and get it done and onto the bestsellers list. So go now.
Welcome to the Books for Athletes podcast with your host, the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole. Mr. Cole, a former athlete and best-selling author himself, has set out to take you behind the scenes of some of sports' forgotten heroes. He sits down with former professional athletes, college athletes, and sports coaches as they share stories of triumph, defeat, dedication, and perseverance. Here's Kelly.
All right, if I can get my own people to recognize my accomplishments or different things that I've contributed to Black History Month and to being a great student athlete, I'll be in business. Actually, that's why I wrote the book, because I felt like I had been passed over when they was doing SWAC Hall of Fames and Louisiana Hall of Fames, and I was seeing all these familiar faces going in and their different accomplishments. And I reflected on the fact of why not me? Because I seem to think that playing 3 sports, winning 3 championships in each sport and graduating is pretty significant.
Wow. Hey, listen, you went right. You came in hot, bro. You made me feel like Club Shay Shay. You come in.
Hey, I'm bringing it. I got to come on with it. I can't be stuttering and you start stuttering.
That's it, bro.
Start stuttering, they be looking like, what you talking about, Willis?
All right, cool. Let me do a quick intro and then we can just jump into it. I like where we are. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Books for Athletes podcast. And I'm here with one of my guys, true legend. Hey, we're going to get his glory. We're going to get his accolades. We're going to get him to the Hall of Fame. My man, Andre Poncho Glover. How you doing, brother?
Doing well. Thank you very much for having me. And I would like to say that I appreciate and I thank Books for Athletes and Publishing Advantage Group for giving me the platform to be able to tell my story and get it out to the masses, because I seem to think that the accomplishments that I received during my high school and college days and well into the professional level is pretty significant, and I think is worthy of being talked about so that other student athletes could learn from the pitfalls, the peaks and valleys that I endured as a student athlete, and realize that they don't have to go down that same road. That if when they read the book and they will absolutely find something in that book that will impact their lives, men, women, and children.
That's good, man. So Leah, let's start. Let's pick up. Well, I don't want to start at high school. I was going to say start in high school, but no. So where did you grow up, and what was the first sport you played?
Well, I grew up in a small town in Louisiana called Geismar, Louisiana. That's on the outskirts of Gonzales. I watched some of my heroes on television early on in my childhood: Jesse Owens, Jim Thorpe, Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J. And when I watched these athletes perform, I wondered what it would be like to be in their shoes one day, to have the opportunity, to have the money, the adulation, to have the wardrobe, the cars, and I daydreamed about it.
Yeah.
And the first, my mom, I come from my background, a low socioeconomic status, single parent household, so we didn't even have enough money to buy a basketball rim with nets, and so one day I came up with an idea to make a basketball rim out of an old bicycle rim,
Yep.
and that's where the dream started. That's where the spark started for the dream. I didn't play little league sports. The first time I played organized sports was in eighth grade, and that was basketball.
Wow. Wow. Good stuff. So you played in eighth grade, played through middle school. So when you got to high school, did you play all three sports in high school? What did you play in high school?
I did. I played. Once I got a taste of that action and actually being on a team, being part of a team, I was so enamored with the fact that I was a part of a team and my contribution, whether it be practice or just being on the bench and cheering for my teammates. I love the feeling that I got, the euphoric feeling that I got just being part of that, and having the fans be in the stands and yelling. I kind of felt like it was it was like me watching those guys on television that people were yelling for. I just wasn't at the professional level. So I went out for the team in seventh grade and didn't make it. And I was so disappointed. And that led me to building my own basketball rim and putting it, hanging it on a tree and practicing every single day. But I did play playground. I played on the sandlot. I played football with the Nerf football. And once I got in the eighth grade, I made the team, and primarily because the other kids had the opportunity to play little league, then their skill set was a lot more refined than mine.
Yeah.
So, but I was just happy to be on the team. I was happy to cheer for my teammates, and that started, in my heart of being an unselfish player, just being part of the team, and I was happy to be there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So when you got to high school, did you play as a freshman? Did you start on varsity, or how did your high school career go?
Not at all. I was still in the developmental stages in terms of my talent. I still, like I said in the book, one of my friends called me Spaghetti Man. I was like the scarecrow on the Wizard of Oz. I was just running around and flopping. I didn't have any kind of foundation, but I was really interested in sports and I really wanted to do it. So when I got in high school, I started refining my skill set and started playing all three sports: football, basketball, and track and field. I didn't get on the field right away because I didn't have the experience. I had to learn from my other teammates, and I had to develop into my body. So I just I was so happy to be part of a team that I was willing to do whatever it took, to get on the team and to be able to travel, to get on the bus, the camaraderie we shared with my
Yeah.
teammates. I had a lot of friends that played sports, so I was in hog heaven. And then it kept me out of the streets. It kept me from doing things in the community that would have been unsavory, that would have possibly gotten me in trouble. I never even thought along those lines. I was so smitten with sports till I wanted to be a part of it. And one day I felt like if I keep working hard, that I will do something significant in this specific area.
Got you. So when did it all come together for you in high school? Like when did your skills come together and all of that? When did you start to excel in high school?
I think my junior year, I think from my sophomore to my junior year, I had a growth spurt of about 3 inches, 3.5 inches. And I think that preparing year round, playing year round sports, strengthening up my body, having an opportunity to travel, I think it all came together and culminated into a great experience my junior year in high school. And I just, people remember me like the year before, being on the team, but not really doing anything significant. And I think that playing three sports really strengthened me mentally, physically, and emotionally. And when I put it all together in my junior year, people were really surprised. And I think that those a lot of those guys just played single sports, had took some time off, had not really, got their game up. And when I came back around and I started giving them the business, they were really surprised. And I think they were more surprised that at my size than they were my athletic ability. But because I played all three of these sports, because I had a supportive community, a supportive family, and supportive coaching staff, that just continued to manifest within me athletically, and I worked my way into the athlete that I wanted to be.
That's good. That's good. So you did you start your junior year?
Yes, I did. That was the year that I really stepped my game up. I made all conference in each one of the sports that I played. I was a triple jump champion on my school, but in sports, I did all four track events. Everything that the coach asked me to do, I did. I never went to him and said what I wasn't interested in or what I wasn't going to do. I high jump, I triple jump, I tried the 110 high hurdles, I did the mile relay. Anything that I could do to make myself better, I did. And I started on the basketball team, and I started on the football team as a wide receiver. And before I left high school, I was starting at wide receiver and defensive back in the same at free safety. So and I was a triple jump champ, and in basketball we had a very successful team. One of my teammates was a two-time McDonald's All-America. So
Wow.
we had coaches from all over the country coming to see him play. Unfortunately, for me, I had not really taken care of my grades like I should have, because nobody really pushed that. And I put being an athlete before being a student first. Being a student wasn't the highest priority. And so when my coach came to me when I was a junior, between mid junior and end of my junior year, with a box of letters from colleges all across the country, I was
Wow.
blown away. And I didn't want to lose the opportunity to have a chance to go to college by my grades. So I really started to buckle down at that moment to try to position myself to have a better grade point average. And we didn't have the prep test for the ACT and the SAT back then. So I wasn't really aware of the preparation process, and it hurt me a great deal. But thankfully, I had people in my community, a mentor who knew Eddie Robinson and who was on the Louisiana High School Athletic Association, and he made that call for me, and they saw my resume and they offered me a scholarship, even though I wasn't going to be eligible in my first year.
Oh, wow. So how did you become eligible to go to Grambling?
Well, I was on Prop 48, which meant I had to sit out the first year. And so what they did was they brought me in and brought me along slow. It's not like Grambling actually, they wanted the talent, but they didn't need it. Grambling was busting out the scenes with talented guys from all across the country. And at school, Coach Eddie Robinson, the winningest coach in the history of HBCU, he has a merit system. And so you have to come in. Nobody comes in and just does what they want to do. You have to, meet all this criteria for him to move you up and show that you could handle being in that position. So I had to come in and take developmental classes my first year, which didn't count towards graduation, but it was going to get me up to speed so I could be in the regular classes. So I had three classes. I think it was reading, math, and English. And you stay in these developmental classes until you get a passing grade, so you can go on, and start taking classes that will count towards graduation. So I really buckled down and started to take my academics seriously. And in fact, I actually went to every summer school that they offered. Grambling paid for me to go to summer school every year, so I never went home. I stayed in college year round for 4 straight years, and end up, playing 3 sports. I didn't play 3 sports the whole time. I just end up playing 3 sports my junior year. I played football and basketball primarily. And then my junior year, whenever I won a championship in football and I won a championship in basketball that year, I thought, boy, if I could just top this off and win this championship in track, then the resume that I put together for somebody maybe professionally would see that and say that this guy was worthy of a shot.
Yo, what up? It's your girl JC, and listen, I have to send a special shout out to my guy, Mr. Kelly Cole, and the entire team at Publishing Advantage Group and Books for Athletes. They took so great care of me to the point that I know I'm the pickiest person. This book was supposed to have been finished last summer. However, there were some details that I needed to make sure that the book had because my audience needed it. And, when it comes down to feeding and serving the people, especially as a former athlete and telling your story, you cannot be selfish with the material and give it away. And they worked with me from the time of my thought process to the time of conception, all the way down to now, top 20 hot release best-selling author on Amazon in 24 hours. Listen, if you're an athlete, you have a story to tell, and you don't know how to put it in book form just yet, don't worry, you're not alone, okay? Hit my guy, Mr. Kelly Cole, and tell him what you're trying to do, and I promise you he gonna get you right, all right? And of course, check me out on Amazon after the season. Shout out to the Books for Athletes family.
Plus the fact that if you play 3 sports, win 3 championships, and graduate, I would want a guy like that on my team. So if I never knew that I was going to have the opportunity to play professionally. I was just hopeful, and I was positioning myself, and the opportunity presented itself. The first opportunity came and presented itself, and I ended up playing professional football. However, the day before the draft, I was playing the Louisiana all-star basketball game for college. All the best basketball players in the state of Louisiana. I played in the game, and I risked injury to try to figure out I didn't know which sport I was going to have an opportunity to go in. So I was leaving. Everything was open. So I ended up hitting the winning shot in the basketball game the day before the draft started. Wow. And I had to make sure that I didn't get hurt or twist an ankle or twist a knee or anything, because that would have surely killed my opportunity to go to the NFL. But Coach Robinson said some very good statements about me as a person, as a player, and as a student. And whenever he spoke, people listened. He had sent over 200 players to the NFL, and if he said that you were one of the best that he had seen, or you had speed, or you had, all these good, all these accolades or good qualities about yourself, then it was worthy of a shot. And all I knew in college, and all we used to walk around and say is, if I get a shot, then I'm going to do the best I can to take advantage of it. All we need is a shot, because we had no earthly idea that I was going to get drafted to the NFL. But for all the listeners out there, I was prepared. Based on my resume, if football didn't work out, I was going to try basketball. Yep. And if basketball didn't work out, I had a briefcase with 15 applications that I got from one of those places, recruiting, where they came to the school and recruited. And I had 15 applications in law enforcement jobs and opportunities across the country. So if it wasn't football, if it wasn't basketball, then I knew it was going to be, it was going to be job time.
Wow.
So that's three different options right there.
That's it. All right. Before we talk about the draft, what do you want student athletes to get from, your high school and college career? What do you wish somebody would have told you when you were in high school and college to prepare you for the next steps?
I think priorities. I think get your priorities in order. And I think the most important thing is to act like a pro now, as soon as you can. Find out what the pros do and conduct yourself as a pro in high school, in college. And I think the transition will be a lot easier when you get to that level. So it's about finding out what the people do at the professional level, what they eat, how they train, how the preparation, how much film they watch. All of that stuff is very important. What you can learn from the book and from my career is the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys that I went through that you don't have to go through. You can learn from that and look at that and say, "Oh, wow, he went through that. Well, I could adjust and customize my lifestyle where I can avoid some of those same pitfalls that he had to go through as a student athlete." And one of those things is prioritizing putting student before athlete, because no matter what happens, whenever you get your degree, they can never take that away from you. Yeah. Football or sports can be taken away from you. If you get hurt, you know, blow your knee out or something happens to you, then you know, if you don't have anything to fall back on, then it's like starting all over again.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so take us to that draft that next day. So take us through that. How did that feel entering the draft? Take us through that process.
Well, I like I said, I played in that basketball game in North Louisiana. I started the game. I hit the first shot of the game on the tip, and then I hit the last shot. So I was feeling real good about myself, and the resume that I had put together. I had graduated, you know, in December of '90, and I still had a year of eligibility in basketball that I was still playing while I was getting my master's. But the day before the draft, I knew I didn't get any information that I was going in the early rounds or would go at all. I just know that I may get that call and get a shot. I was invited to the combine. I went to the combine, but I didn't show exceptionally well. I showed well, but it wasn't exceptionally well because I didn't know what to expect. And everything that they asked me to do, I did. I was lifting weights. I was doing the side backs on my legs. So by the time I ran the 40, I was almost spent from, you know, trying to do everything that they asked me to do. So, you know, during the draft, that first day I saw, you know, one of my guys come off the board in the third round. We had a fifth rounder and two seventh rounders. And by the third day of the draft, it wasn't televised. So my wife and I wanted to go fishing. I wanted to just find out. I said, well, if they call, they're going to call whether I'm there or not. Right. And you know, I'd rather not be going through, you know, all the heartache and sitting around, all the anguish, waiting on a call that might not never come. So we said that my wife talked me into not going fishing and sitting around and waiting on the call. And I went to my mentor's home, and we sat around and we talked. And during the course of that day, a lot of calls would come in from family members and well-wishers asking, you know, had it happened yet? And he would always say, no, it hadn't happened yet. Hell, we need it. It ain't gonna happen if you stay on the line talking. We need to keep the line freed up just in case they call. And so we sat around and we talked and hung out. And then the call came in, and he answered the phone, and you know, they asked for me, and he gave me the phone. And it was the secretary from the Los Angeles Raiders. And she told me congratulations that I had been drafted, and that give him a second. And the head coach, which was Art Shell at the time, wanted to speak with me and congratulate me. And he did that. And the first thing I asked him was, Coach, first time y'all get a chance to send for me, send for me. I want out of here. I'm ready to get there and get to work. And that's how that situation happened during that on the third day of the draft. But historically, that HBCUs don't have the number of people that we had drafted that year. And in that year, we had more draftees in the state of Louisiana than LSU or anybody. We had 5 draftees, and we had a couple of free agents as well.
Wow. So how long did it take for them to send for you and you to go to the Raiders?
Well, the mini camps started in, like, I think it was April, May, June. It might have been 4 to 6 weeks. They sent for me, and when I showed up at camp, and I was a wide receiver in college, and I was a wide receiver at the combine. And when I got to Los Angeles, they told me that my position was changing to tight end, and that I needed to gain some weight. So I was like 6'6", almost 6'7", 222 pounds at the combine. and the tight ends in the National Football League was at least 240 or better.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately after they told me that they wanted me to switch positions, I had to start training and I had to start eating every day and getting the kind of rest that I need to get so my body could start to transform into a more muscular build. Because I didn't have that kind of training when I was at Grambling. And when I got there, it was a culture shock. And I started right away on it. And I tell you, that transformation hurt some kind of awful. Lifting those weights, all the running, muscles were, being tested, and they put us through all kind of stress tests to see, if we were worthy of being part of that team. I think the important thing to know and understand about the Los Angeles Raiders team is that they had talent all over the field, and that was the year that Bo Jackson had just got hurt the year before.
Wow.
And we're going into the season with a lot of question marks and there's a lot of disappointment because he was an all-world player and any team would have loved to have him. But when I got there and they told me that they wanted me to play tight end, and my mindset focused on transforming into being what they wanted me to be so that I could make the team.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you remember your first NFL game? Talk about that.
Yeah. Well, we went out my first NFL game, man. I was just first of all, when I got there, on a team like the Raiders, we only probably had 7 or 8 draft picks. And we started out with 90 people and we had to get to 47. 90 of the best athletes you ever seen in your life.
Wow.
And to get that number to 47, so there was it was tough days. It was tough days. It was mental days, emotional, physical, just beat down because they had to do these stress tests to see who would be able to perform when we get at the level where we're playing against other teams. So the first day that I came out and we we had a game, I was just excited. The atmosphere was great. I was a professional, but I knew that if I didn't continue to get better, if I didn't continue to improve, and if I didn't continue to minimize making mistakes and jumping off sides and all that, I wasn't going to be around because you don't get paid until you make the team.
Right.
So I had a single mindset. I've always, had the talent and the understanding to adapt to what the coach wants to see out of me, to know how to play. I played for so many coaches that I learned how to adapt and get on the side to where the coach said it's hard for me not to play him because he's doing all the things that I've asked him to do. And I think another thing that helped me is that I've never been a selfish player. Everything that I've ever done in sports has always been for the team.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler Campbell, and I am the author of The Ball Came Out, Life on the Other Side of the Field, brought to you by none other than the Publishing Advantage Group, Kelly Cole, and the entire team. Let me tell y'all something about them. Listen, they are there to help you. They really want to see you win. They want to help you get that message out. And collectively, as a team, you never feel like you're alone. There's no such thing as a bad question. They know the industry so well that they help you convey the message that will feed the masses of individuals that you come across. My book is number 2 new release book on Amazon already, and it's already an Amazon bestseller. All right, hadn't even been a full week yet. All right, these individuals know what they know about the industry and they share it with you, right? And they only want to see you win. You're handled with care. Make your book a bestseller today and go with the Publishing Advantage Group. They want nothing but the best for you.
And I felt like as long as I made a contribution to the team, then I was doing my part.
Yeah.
But I think that in college, if Willis Reed went to Grambling and played for New York Knicks, if Willis Reed would have came to me before my senior year and said, Poncho, if you average 20 points and 10 boards a game, I can get you a shot with the Knicks, or I can get you a look. Then absolutely, I would have averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds a game because I would have had a mark to shoot for. Otherwise, every game that I went out to, I just listened to the coach and listen to what he was trying to accomplish and how he wanted to execute the game plan and went by that. I never thought, what if I can get 25 and 15 rebounds, then I'll be all this. It was always rooted in being a team player and about winning. If you win, then I got another shot to get the visibility that I'm looking for because I'm winning and not because I'm an exceptional single athlete on this group of people that's playing and you are above and beyond better than them.
That's good because, as you know, man, that's a lost art. You don't have many team players no more.
No.
Everybody wants their footage for the social media. They want to score their points, and everybody's out for themselves. Like, where did that unselfishness come from?
I think that came from my mother, the way my mother raised me with my brothers and sisters. I think it came from my coaches early on. I think it came from my community. And I think it came from the people I look up to. I have to give all the credit, to that, what I was surrounded by
Yeah,
that really made me who I am. It wasn't me by myself. And, even having the opportunity to meet my wife in college in 1988 when I was a sophomore going to be a junior is pretty significant. It was a pretty significant change once I met her and she helped me with my guidelines and helped me in school and helped me prioritize and help, with my discipline and, eliminating serial dating at that time where I really didn't have, time to be doing all that and trying to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish in sports. So I have to give, her a lot of credit because I didn't do it by myself. I trusted in God and
yeah,
believed that I was doing something special. And he sent me her to help me along the way. And we, this 2 days ago, we just celebrated our 31st
yeah.
wedding anniversary. And, it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Absolutely and positively would not be in this position and have accomplished nearly the things that I've accomplished without her being by my side.
That's good, man. Talk about that for a little bit. Like how important, like talk to these young guys, man. They don't realize how important the right wife, the right woman, man, how that will propel your life, man. You just touched on it. Man, give them some
And
wisdom. You touched on it.
it is absolutely the best decision that I've ever made to have one vision with two people and someone to love you unconditionally and be there with you and never to give up on you through the ups and downs,
Yeah,
through all the things that you're faced with, and the belief that you can do something significant if you work your butt off, you put God first. Nothing is impossible. And when God gave me the talent to do the things that I was doing,
yeah,
I had one thing. I wanted to push it through the limit. There was no limit for me to say stop because I didn't, I didn't have that silver spoon in my mouth. So I was hungry like a dog on a bone every single day for everything that I can get. But I wasn't really putting nobody else down to get to where I had to go. I
right.
had to work on me and that man in the mirror. And, I had to, believe in myself. And I had somebody, my wife believed in me more than, anybody and just was always there for me as a, a pillar of comfort. Anything that I needed, she helped me with. And she really was in the no judgment zone because I made a lot of mistakes, just like anybody else. It wasn't a smooth ride all the time, but she believed in me and she believed in us as a couple. And 31 years later, and actually in 88, I mean, it's about 34, 35 years that we've actually been together. We have three beautiful kids, two boys, one girl, college kids, and we've just had that high level of respect for each other along the way. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for her because it is because of her that I am what I am and I do what I do.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We can talk about that stuff all day. I love, man. That's what I'm about, man. I'm about family. I got three as well, but I got one boy and two girls. But all
Right.
right. So transitioning a little bit, they're gonna have to get some of this stuff in the book. What was it like to come back home and play for the Saints? Come back to Louisiana.
A dream come true. A dream, because in Louisiana, the Saints are it. If you tell anybody you're associate, he's a Saint, that opens up so many doors for me. Even today, he played ex-Saint, want to come in and see, boop, door open. Everybody in Louisiana that I know of and have been associated with love the Saints, and primarily because when we were young, they would show the regional games. We didn't see a lot of New York games and all. They were showing Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. So I grew up, playing in the yard, yelling about the Saints or yelling about the Cowboys. And it was so significant because it's something God took me all around the world, all around the country, and prepared me for a time and a place and brought me home in my 10th year where we did something so significant that it changed the history and the trajectory of the team. The year before I got there, and I had tried to go to the Saints before, and they said they didn't need me a couple of years before, and I ended up going to Minnesota. Well, we had scrimmages with the Saints in Minneapolis, and I broke them boys back off. And so they started looking. Then we played them in the game, and I had 9 catches on them, almost 100 yards. So whenever opportunity came and they needed a tight end, some of the coaches from Minnesota had went over to the Saints, and then they brought my name up, and they said I would be a good fit, and they brought me in, and we had a good interview process, and then I ended up signing with them, and I called a press conference. Usually they'll say, well, the press want to talk to you, or high profile, players. Where I was a profile player, well, I wasn't the highest profile player on the roster, but I told them at the beginning of the year that we would give the community something to be proud of, and we would work our butts off, and that we would make the changes that need to be made in order to be a successful team. And that team in 2001 ended up being the NFC West champions. Wow. And we went from 3-13 the year before to 11-7 and won the first playoff game in the history of the franchise. Wow. And I'm telling you, it was one of the greatest feelings to do that for my hometown and to get that recognition. They had newspaper articles with me on the front page and things like that. And I really thought that I was going to be there longer than I actually was there. But, God had another plan for me, and it was time for me to move on.
Who was the quarterback that year?
Jeff Blake started out being the quarterback, but he got hurt, and Aaron Brooks came in. I know you're probably familiar with Brooks, being out there from Virginia on that East Coast, and he came in and finished. But it's so amazing that the route we took to get to that playoff victory on that day that we beat the defending Super Bowl champion, the Rams, the St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner. We beat the defending Super Bowl champions with no starting quarterback, wow, no starting running back, and not our starting receiver.
Wow.
Somebody on that team had to be good, and we had to be good as a group. It took everybody on there to win that game that we end up winning in New Orleans for the first playoff victory in the history of the franchise. And a little known fact, had they not ever won that first playoff game, they may have never won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
So that was the catalyst for them years later to come back, because they never knew what it felt like to win a playoff game prior to that. I think it was 30, almost 34 years that they had not even won a playoff game.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Man, good stuff, man. We can do this all day. We're going to wrap it up. But what was it like when you came home and you finally held the book in your hand? What did that feel like?
I felt like all the things that I had thought about, all the things that I talked about to kids all across the country, I felt like the impact that I wanted to make worldwide was finally complete, and that I would have an opportunity to tell my story without verbally doing it all the time and trying to make people believe that I actually accomplished this stuff, because it's unbelievable. Nobody has ever done it on the collegiate level like this. And so I was proud. My wife was proud. It was a lot of hard work, going through the process, trying to ensure that we were saying all the right things to be able to impact people's lives, men, women, and children, and to tell my story so that people could look at it and say, wow, that's something significant. And I wonder what it's like to be him or live the lifestyle that he lived.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Dennis Haley. I am the author of the playbook, The Art of Dreaming. Just want to say a special thank you to Kelly Cole and the Publishing Advantage Group team. Man, they were with me from day one until the time I finished, and still with me to this day. What a blessing to have them be with me and to walk me through this journey and to be a part of this journey. They have been nothing but class acts, and they know what they're talking about. And just again, it is a blessing to be a part of this team and for them to guide me down the path to success. So thank you for everything that you have done. I look forward to many more projects with you guys and continue to be a blessing to many. Thank you.
Because I'm proud that God gave me the talent to be able to compete in all these sports and to do it at a very high level. I feel like it's significant, and I feel it's something special. Plus the fact that, that I could tell people about my hometown, where I came from, how I grew up, all some of the pitfalls that I don't want them to make that I made, that's going to help them achieve greatness. And I'm just appreciative to Books for Athlete and Publishing Advantage Group for helping me guide my thoughts and put them on paper, and dealing with the ghostwriter, Miss I forget her name, Miss Anita was exceptional. She was exceptional and very patient in listening to my thoughts and how I wanted to project in this book. And I thought, man, I am proud of it, and I'm proud every time somebody reads it and tells me about how it's impacting them or how significant it is. Or, I have people talking about they want to get it in the school system. They want to get this book in athletes' hands because it's something in here that's going to help them navigate their own path in a way that will change their life for the better.
That's awesome, man. All right. So would you recommend other athletes come to us to get their books done?
Absolutely and positively, I would. But I would tell them to be prepared to do your best work, and just be patient. And sometimes everything don't happen overnight. It takes time. But I would definitely tell them to utilize Books for Athletes and Publishing Advantage Group to get your message out there, because it's significant and it needs to be heard. It needs to be shared. My plan is when it's all over to leave a legacy. I do not want to take anything to the grave with me. I want to leave all the knowledge. I want to leave all my worldly possessions, and I want to find a way to help people, specifically student athletes, but men, women, and children. If it's something that I could say or I could share with them that will help them to elevate their self to greatness, then I will absolutely take the time to do that very unselfishly. And I think God continues to bless me and open doors everywhere I go, and everything I do is based on helping somebody. I'm not in the business of self-promotion and saying I did this and you're not this. That's not the way I go about my business. I'm still a team player, and I think in the end, being a team player, you don't finish last. Team player gonna end up finishing first at some point, and that's the way I really feel about it.
That's good. All right. So you started off with some last thing about, what are some of the things and some of the places you feel like you've been left out of? Let's close it out there. What do you want to say to the SWAC, NFL, Hall of Fame, all of that? Let's talk about that. What's it going to take to get you in there?
Well, I don't think they really know about the accomplishments. The problem I think they have is they don't have anybody to compare it against. If you compare two sport athletes, you compare Bo versus Dion and other two sport athletes. This we're in a realm where this has never been done. So instead of bringing it up, they just don't bring it up at all, because there is no comparison. I think from the Louisiana Hall of Fame standpoint and the SWAC Hall of Fame, then that's something that I work towards. Nobody ever told me that kissing up was going to be, part of what you had to do to get in. Everything that I've known where you're supposed to be is earned. And I've earned the right to be there. As long as I earn it, then you can't take that from me. I will fight you till day's end because I earned it. And that's what I stand on. If I earn the right to be in this position and to represent my family, my community, and all the student athletes, then absolutely and positively, that's what I'm going to fight for till the day I die. You will not just, walk over me and act like the things that I accomplish are insignificant, because I know that they're significant. All I knew to play for, and this is so simple. When I started playing collegiate sports, the furthest I could see was the accolades we got, from the coaches and from the university. The V-neck sweater, the button-down sweater, the Letterman, and the blanket. I could not see past that. I was so focused on lettering, and this is one step that I need to take. And then the next step, I get a button down. And my teammates validating me. I never worried about the coaches or anything like that. Your teammates know who the best players are, and they pick the best players. Yeah. But you have to work within the structure of the coaching in order to go out and execute. And I think that through hard work, through dedication, through believing in yourself and putting the work in, you can't go wrong. I think it's all going to come back and be a benefit to you in the end.
That's good, man. All right, so tell the people where you can want them to get the book, how they can contact you to speak, appearances, and all of that before we get out of here.
Yeah, AndrewPonchoGlover.com, AndrewPonchoGlover.com. You can reach me there. You can get the book on Amazon. It is ready. We are excited. I'm going to be going around the country promoting the book everywhere that I can. I've been in barbershops selling books. I'm selling them out the trunk. Anything that I can do to get it in somebody's hand so that it could make a difference either in their lives or they know somebody absolutely that is a student athlete that that could utilize some of the same skills and coping skills or whatever it is to in order to be great. And I just know it's a great read. It's not a long book. And the thing that we did in this book that I really appreciated and was real happy with is after every chapter we put a quote in of what the coach said, somebody else said about me, not what I said about myself. And then at the end of the book, we put a newspaper article and photo gallery to back up everything that you just read in the book, so that is absolutely and positively backed up by facts. And so hopefully I'll be working on a documentary in the near future and a docu-series possibly, and to get the word out. And I think that God is going to lead me to all the right people in due time so that we can position ourselves to do something major, globally with this experience and the book.
That's good, man. So yeah, if you need somebody to help, we've done a few for our authors as well. We've done a few documentaries. So let me know. I got film crew and everything. And they try.
I definitely will.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Thank you so much for taking this time. We appreciate you. I'm here if you need anything, my brother. But anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I just want to tell the people out there, if you want to tell your story, definitely use Books for Athlete and Publishing Advantage Group. They are ready and willing, and will listen to your narrative. And I think that's the most important thing, is that I was not subjected to having a narrative put on me that I wasn't familiar with. I wanted to control the narrative and tell people exactly how it happened, so that it would be all truths, and nobody would sit back and say, "Well, this may or may not have happened." Then, when you read this book, then you know that the person that wrote the book is where this content is coming from. And I am definitely pleased with the work that you guys did. I'm pleased with the book. I'm pleased with the cover. I'm pleased with everything about it.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate you. Pray you have an amazing day. And man, let us know if we can help you with anything else.
Most certainly. And you have a great weekend as well. And congratulations to you, Books for Athlete and Publishing Advantage Group. Keep doing what you're doing. And, everything is going to all come to pass in God's time.
That's it, man. Appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
All right. Take care. Talk to you.
Listen, thanks so much for checking out this episode of the Books for Athletes podcast. Do me a favor, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode. We want to help more athletes tell their story. We want to help more athletes get their story out. So if you could support this podcast, all I need you to do is like, comment, share, and please subscribe to my channel so we can grow on YouTube and start monetizing this channel. All right, if you prefer to listen, we're on all podcast listening platforms as well: Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Wherever you are, please like, subscribe, comment, and please share this episode with someone. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one.